What happens when a rock legend vanishes from the spotlight for nearly 2 decades, only to return with a haunting new album born from a life-altering journey of self-discovery? For Pete Droge, the answer lies in a mix of heartbreak, family secrets, and the relentless pursuit of identity. Known to many as the voice behind the iconic song, "If You Don't Love Me, I'll Kill Myself," from the 1994 film Dumb and Dumber, Droge has broken his 19-year solo music hiatus with Fade Away Blue, an album that's as much about reconnecting with his past as it is about reclaiming his future. But here's where it gets controversial. The story behind this comeback isn't just about music. It's a raw, deeply personal exploration of adoption, loss, and the fragile threads that tie us to our roots. And this is the part most people miss. The way Droge's journey blurs the line between public persona and private pain. It all began with a glitch. In 2009, while working on a track, Droge's computer displayed an error timestamp from 1969, the year he was born. Though he couldn't explain it as a memory, the moment felt like a jolt of clarity. It was like a light bulb went off, he told Spin. I realized I needed to dig into my adoption story. This epiphany came during a period of intense self-reflection. At 40, Droge was navigating therapy for anxiety, depression, and past struggles with addiction. With the support of his adoptive parents, Arnie and Jan Droge, he began tracing his biological origins. What he found was devastating: his birth mother's obituary, which left him grappling with a mix of grief and determination. Yet this loss became a bridge. Through her family in Ohio, Droge connected with his 98-year-old grandmother and a musician uncle, now weekly confidants. There was this strange sense of homecoming, he shared, like I'd finally touched a part of myself I never knew was missing. Droge's search for roots mirrors the album's themes. Fade Away Blue includes Song for Barbara Ann and Lonely Mama, both tributes to his birth mother, and Gypsy Rose, a biographical track weaving stories from her life. Initially, the project leaned heavily into adoption narratives, until Droge expanded it to include reflections on his 1990s touring grind and the loss of his adoptive parents. His adoptive father, Arnie, passed in 2015. His mother's health declined shortly after. Meanwhile, Droge battled chronic fatigue, a condition that sidelined his career. Yet these struggles became fuel. Music is how I process pain, he said. This album is a love letter to everyone who's ever felt disconnected. But what makes the story resonate beyond fanfare? Droge's career itself is a tale of peaks and pauses. After his 1994 debut, he opened for Tom Petty and co-wrote the title track for the film Beautiful Girls. He even joined forces with Matthew Sweet and Sean Mullins in the short-lived supergroup The Thorns. Yet his later years were quieter, until this latest chapter. Now with a tour kicking off in June 2025, Droge is not just performing songs. He's inviting listeners into a dialogue about identity. I hope someone hears this and feels less alone, he said. Maybe a stranger will piece together a clue about my birth father, still missing from my records. And this is the part that sparks debate. Does the music industry owe it to artists to support these personal journeys, or is this a deeply private matter that should remain untangled from public life? Droge's story challenges us to consider how adoption, loss, and art intersect. So what do you think? Is self-discovery a necessary ingredient for creative rebirth, or does it risk overexposing the very wounds we write about? Share your thoughts below, because the real story isn't just about a comeback. It's about the courage to turn your pain into a melody others can sing along to. It's about the courage to turn your pain into a melody others can sing along to.